Welcome back with a smiling face. Links to previous episodes are given in the video description, so don't forget to like, subscribe and share the video. A Mother's Shelter. Episode 5. Chapter 32. I pulled out of my sleep with the sound of my own groans. At first, I thought I was dreaming, but I'm definitely not. I lift the blankets, and I see my naughty wife. Her warm mouth on me, and she's looking up with the most mischievous eyes as she takes me in, and out. She's really good at this, so it doesn't take long before I warn her I'm going to come. I thought this was just a warm-up, but she doesn't stop. When she comes up, there's no evidence of what she just did to me. I lay there catching my breath for a minute, before I get up and return the favor, which of course leads to more. It's 10:30 a.m., and after a morning, we're starving, so I order room service. I asked for them to send up everything on the breakfast menu, with 2 orange juices and 2 coffees. Lexi said she didn't know what she wanted, so I made it easy. Now she doesn't have to choose. We have a shower together while we wait for our room service. I just want to stay here, and enjoy all day with her here alone without any interruptions, but Molly will be waiting for us, and today is the Luna ceremony. They put our big breakfast spread at the table, and I pull Lexi's chair next to mine. I just want her close. Always. She drapes her legs over mine, and we enjoy the huge spread, periodically feeding each other. I can't get enough of her. Her laugh, her smile, her lips, it's everything. Thanks for planning this, babe, it was perfect. I admit and then give her a little kiss. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I know I thoroughly did, she smirks. We make it back home a little before 1 p.m. When we walk through the door, Lev is on the couch watching TV, and Molly is napping. Thank you for watching her, sorry we took so long to get home, Lev, Lex says. Yeah, thanks man. We really appreciated it, I add. It's all good. I wasn't expecting you back until 3 to 4. I figured you'd stay until you had to be back to get ready for the ceremony, he shrugs. Jack has some preparations for the ceremony he needs to do, Lexi explains. I'm not sure how I'm supposed to leave my mate at this point. I really don't want to. It's actually the last thing I want to do. I'll bring our bag up, and then I'll get to work, I frown and so does she. I'm going to head to the pack house, to the room I'm staying in, and have a nap. I'll see you guys later, Lev tells Lexi. Can I help with anything, Jack? She asks, and I wish there was something she could help me with because then I would have an excuse to spend time with her. At 6 p.m., everyone's at our place again to get ready. The ladies all look great, but Lexi is breathtaking. As Luna, her dress had to be extra special, and she delivered. She's wearing a white dress with lots of gold detailing. She looks like a queen. My queen. She has a bun in her hair, and you can see parts of a braid, and it looks very intricate but effortless and beautiful all at once. She asked me what I thought of her smoky eyes, and I assured her that it looks great. It makes her bright blue eyes pop and she wears deep red lipstick. She stuns me constantly with her beauty, but she's so much more than that. The ballroom is decorated perfectly. 3/4 of the room has round tables decorated with white linen and black and white flowers. Black flowers are a tradition for Alpha and Luna ceremonies at Black Moon, for obvious reasons. Everyone is seated when we arrive. Our table consists of Lex, me, Molly, my parents, Lev and Zach. At 6:30, I stand and walk to where the dance floor is with Lexi. Within seconds, the room is silent. Thank you all so much for being here this evening. This is such a special night for me as Alpha. I am so proud of the woman that I have been fated to lead you all with. I do have an announcement to make as well. Yesterday, Lexi and I, very privately, got married. She is officially my wife, and a Lavard. I pause because the crowd is clapping. Lexi and I smile at each other, and when everyone quiets down I continue. I have waited longer than I would have liked to find my mate and your Luna, but she was worth the wait, and I know she will make the best Luna to all of you. Alexandria Lavard, do you accept Black Moon as your pack? I ask. Yes, I do, she smiles, and I'm radiating pride. Do you accept the position of Luna, to Black Moon? I add. Yes, I do. Do you promise that you will, to the best of your ability, act in a manner that is in the best interest of Black Moon? Always. Mrs. Alexandria Lavard, I say, and I can't help the broad proud smile on my face at the fact that my woman shares my last name. It is the greatest honor, for me to present to all of you, for the first time, my wife, Luna Alexandria Lavard. My pack is clapping and cheering for her, and I couldn't be more proud. When the crowd quiets down, Lexi starts to speak. I want to thank you all so much for the warm welcome that you all showed Molly and I from the moment we arrived. Thank you for not only welcoming us, but accepting us and making us feel like we belong here. I can never express how much that means to me, and how grateful I am. In regards to being your Luna, I feel honored, and I don't take the title lightly. I hope that you all know that I will always do all that I can for the safety and well-being of this pack. Thank you, she finishes, and everyone is clapping for her again. She spoke to our pack with strength and grace, and I'm blown away by her. After dinner, the dance portion of the night starts, but we left early to get Molly to bed by 8:30. It's uncommon for a Luna and Alpha to leave their own ceremonial parties so early, but we left Molly last night, so we didn't want anyone to watch her tonight. We were both actually exhausted too, because it's been a crazy couple of days, and we didn't get a lot of sleep last night. I open my eyes, and I see the clock says 6:30 a.m. Lex and I went to bed at 9:30 last night. I'm feeling completely refreshed. I wrap an arm around her waist and pull her closer to me. Good morning, she says quietly. Good morning, Luna Lavard, and she smiles, and I kiss her neck. She turns to her other side so she's facing me now. She nestles into my neck, and wraps an arm and a leg around me, and holds me close. Hey, it's still early, I remind her. Molly isn't going to wake up for probably another hour, I smile. Should we wake her up early? We haven't gotten to spend too much time with her lately, she asks. I furrow my brows, and she starts laughing. She wiggles a little, and pulls off my t-shirt that she's wearing, and she's not wearing anything underneath. What are you waiting for? Get these off, Alpha, she says while tugging at my boxer briefs. We had an hour alone this morning before Molly woke up, thankfully. I'm craving her already, and I just had her an hour ago. I wasn't even this horny as a teenager, but with Lex, I want her all the time. We're in the kitchen now, and Lexi and I are working on breakfast. Her friends and Lef are coming over for breakfast this morning, before more of them head back home. Babe, Lef just texted me asking me if he could bring a guest to breakfast, she says, furrowing her brows. Do you think he found his mate? She asks. I doubt it, we would have found out before we left, wouldn't we? I ask. I actually didn't see him after dinner, I don't think. Did you? I don't think I did. Maybe he did. I muse. We have the table all set. We cut a ton of fruit. Now I'm working on cooking bacon and sausages and she's working on the waffle iron, and cooking pancakes. When everyone shows up, we're just finishing up cooking. Lev and his mystery guest are the last to arrive, and Lex is all too excited to get to the door, and I follow because I'm curious too. When the door opens, we see Lev with his arm draped over her shoulder and smiling more than I have ever seen. Is Brit your mate? Lex asks, excitedly. Lev nods and looks at Brit with adoration, and she does the same. Lexi is squealing with delight. I'm so happy you finally found her, she starts to tear up and she pulls both of them in for a hug. Thanks, Lex, me too, Lev responds. We find out they met right after dinner. Everyone enjoys breakfast, and we talk them into staying until after dinner tonight, to have a pool party with everyone. Lexi's point of view, the pool party is so fun, and it's great to just hang out with everyone. Joss is planning on moving here next weekend. Brady is going to go to Cold Moon tonight with her, and they are going to pack up her house, and then head back. Joss is so happy and giddy about her man, and I'm so happy for her. She waited so long and she was shocked to find her mate here. Lev and Brit are so cute together. Cora is the only single one left now, and I actually feel really bad for her. She is happy for her friends, but I know how much she craves finding her mate too. I'll talk privately with Jet about it, so I don't put him on the spot, but maybe Jet can send Cora to do the traveling work Lev was supposed to do. We all had a great afternoon together. Chapter 33. Lev's point of view. I open my eyes, and I look to my right and see my beautiful mate, Brit. Her red curly hair is perfectly tousled on the pillows. She's so beautiful. She's slept in my suite with me for the last 2 nights. I love her already, and I don't know what we're going to do. She won't come back to Cold Moon with me. I thought she had agreed. Maybe I misheard her on Friday, or maybe I just assumed, but she told me last night that she can't come to Cold Moon with me. I don't know what I'm going to do. She wants me, but she lives with and takes care of her grandmother. Her grandmother cared for Brit most of her life, and Brit insists that she can't leave her now. She's not doing well. I offered to bring her grandmother to Cold Moon with us too, but Brit said it wouldn't be good to take her from the only place that's ever been home to her. Brit has offered to do long distance and even asked if I could move here, but I can't give up my Gamma position. It's my identity. I would be just a warrior here. I'm going to have to figure out a way to make this work. I don't want to just come down on the weekends. That would be an actual nightmare. How do we raise a family like that? We'll have to get this figured out before I mark her. Moon Goddess, please help us figure this out. I want her, I need her, and I don't want to live without her. I look at her soft skin as she sleeps and I instantly feel pain when I think about not being with her. Maybe giving up my pack is what I have to do? You're staring, I hear my mate say quietly and I smile. Sorry. Don't be, she smiles. Damn it, I love that smile. She snuggles into me, and I wrap my arm around her. Now that she isn't coming with me, I'll have to leave tonight to be back at the pack house for work tomorrow. I need to go back at least until I know for sure what we are going to do. What are you thinking about? She asks. Just what we're going to do, I confess. We have time to figure it out. I'm sorry I'm making this difficult, but she raised me, and she's the only family I have. I can't turn my back on her, especially when she depends on me so much. I asked her yesterday about moving and she said she never would. She feels close to my mom here because she visits her grave so often, and I know it would break her heart to be taken away from that. I don't know what to do. I hate the thought of being away from you, she admits. I understand her loyalty to her grandmother, and a big part of me really respects that, the other part of me is selfish. We'll figure it out. Even if it's just weekends for now, I force a smile and she does the same. This is so hard, but I'll take any bit of her I can have at this point. Lexi's point of view: it's Sunday, and all my friends are back home now. Lef is still at Black Moon, but I haven't seen him today. He's spending time with his mate. Jack isn't supposed to be working on Sundays, but given all the time he took off this week, he has to work in the morning to get caught up a little bit. He's working from home though, which makes me happy. It just feels better to have him closer. It's such a hot morning, so Molly and I are going to go for a swim and spend some time in our backyard. Jack should be done with work in the next hour or two, and then he can join us. I feel Jack mind-linking. Lex, the future alpha of Red River, our neighboring pack, wants to meet with me. Do you want me to meet with him at my office in the pack house, or can he come to my office here? I don't mind meeting him at the pack house if you're uncomfortable. I like you close. I don't mind if you have meetings here. You're so thoughtful to ask, though he has never made me feel like this is just his house, not once. He's so sweet. Ugh, I miss him so much. I wish he was back here with us. It's 10:30, so he should be done in an hour or two, maybe a little longer if he's having meetings. It's 11:45 a.m. and Molly's getting hungry, so we dry off, I throw a summer dress on top, and we head inside to make some lunch. I can hear Jack talking, so I know he's still in his meeting. Daddy, Molly says. Not now, Oni, Daddy's working. Soon you can see him, I promise. Do you want a turkey sandwich, Molly? I ask. Peas. I start to make sandwiches and cut some watermelon. Watermelon on a hot day is the best. I wrap Jack's lunch so he can have it when he's done. All of a sudden, I'm feeling intense feelings of rage. What's going on? Am I feeling Jack's emotions? Then I feel Jack mind-linking me. Lexi, get Molly out of the house, now Jack's mad. Really mad. I notice Molly isn't in the kitchen anymore. She must have snuck into Jack's office. I start rushing to his office, because of how mad he is. Is he mad that she interrupted his meeting? That's not like him. WTF? I get there, and Jack looks pissed, but he doesn't say anything. He hands me Molly, and mind links me, move fast, something's going on, I'm not sure what, but I don't like what I'm feeling from him, so when he hands Molly to me, I rush through the kitchen to the backyard again. As soon as I shut the door, I hear a house-shaking growl. WTF? He wasn't mad at me or Molly, he didn't want us to hear what was happening. I can feel the rage coursing through my veins. I've never felt his emotions so strong before. I have never felt rage this strong in me before, not even my own. I'm scared. I mind-link Zach and Kyle. Something bad is going on. Jack is so mad, and he's in his office at home. He was having a meeting. Can you come over? We're with that alpha, soon to be beta and gamma. I'll come, and Kyle will stay with them, so they don't suspect anything. I'll be there in 1 minute, Lexi. Don't worry, Jack's point of view: I'm catching up on some work that I got behind on over the last few days. I have both business and alpha duties, and they pile up quickly. I see here that Derek Johnson called, and would like me to call him back. Derek Johnson is Alpha Tim Johnson's son. He's close to my age, but still not alpha yet. Tim and I have a great working relationship, which is great because they are the closest pack to ours. They are just 25 minutes away from Black Moon. I return his call. Derek Johnson, hello, Alpha Lavard. Thank you for calling me back. Me, Derek Johnson. It's been a long time, how have you been? Derek, I've been okay. I'd be better if I were Alpha, but I'm hoping that's something you could help me with. Me, how could I help you become Alpha? Derek, well, I was hoping you could meet with me, and we could discuss that. I will definitely make it worth your while. Me, when would you like to meet? Derek, now? Today? Well, it'd take me a half hour to get there. Me, oh, I look at my watch. 10:30. If he's here for 11, I could get him out by 12. I'm so busy this week too. Me, I am pretty strapped for time, and I have a video conference at noon, but if we make it quick, I can meet today. I don't actually have a video conference, but I don't want him lingering. I'm not wasting my day with him. Derek, that's great. I'll be there in 30 minutes. I don't want to leave home, because I feel so much closer to my family here, even if I am working. I prefer to work here. Lexi and Molly sneak in periodically too, which is always nice. I'll mind link Lexi though, she might not want me doing meetings in the house. Lex, the future Alpha of Red River, our neighboring pack wants to meet with me. Do you want me to meet with him at my office in the pack house, or can he come to my office here? I don't mind meeting him at the pack house if you're uncomfortable. I like you close. I don't mind if you have meetings here. You're so thoughtful to ask, though. Hearing her say that she prefers to have me work from home, feels good. It only makes me wish I wasn't working right now even more, and I was actually taking my day off to spend it with my girls. I mind link Zach, and let him know what's going on, and also inform him that if Derek brings any of his pack members with him, they need to keep them occupied. I'm not having a bunch of men in my house that I don't know around my girls. Chapter 34. I hear a knock at the door, and I get up to get it. It's Derek. I met him a few times before, but it's been a while. He's a big guy, just like his dad. Hopefully, we'll work together as well as his father and I have. Derek, I nod, as I extend my hand. Alpha Lavard, he says as he reaches out to shake mine. We head to my office and share some small talk for a few minutes before I get to the point. So, let's get to it. How can I possibly help you become Alpha? Well, my parents are stubborn, and they have this idea that I need to have a mate if I'm going to be Alpha. I'm 24, and I still haven't found her, and I want to be Alpha. For all I know, she's dead, and I'm not willing to wait any longer. I was hoping that maybe we could broker a deal with one of your she-wolf warriors, he explains. I nod. If one of my she-wolves wants to leave to be Luna of a neighboring pack, I'm fine with it. Who's your top she-wolf warrior? He asks. My wife, I deadpan. You're married? He asks, brows furrowed. Yeah, we got married a few days ago, and she officially became my Luna 2 nights ago. I had no idea. Congratulations. Thank you. I was going to let neighboring packs know tomorrow, I explain, and he nods in understanding. He asks a lot of questions about my female warriors, which seems pointless to me. It's like he thinks he's going to choose his mate in this office, here with me. Listen, it's ultimately their decision. I could tell you all about Laurel and Star and all of my other unmated warriors, but if they're not interested, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to force them. He furrows his brows and nods. What's with that face he was making? He looks taken aback by what I told him. Was he thinking I was going to force them, or is he just making the connection that maybe not every she-wolf is going to give up on their mate for power? You come down to one of our training sessions in the morning and you can meet the she-wolves, and see if you hit it off with any of them. I suggest. Okay. We can do that. I will of course pay you, he adds. WTF? Is he serious? Does he want to pay me for a mate? Which would mean that I sold her. Is this guy for real? I don't want money for one of my warriors. If she chooses you, then fine. But you're not going to buy her, I say, feeling disgusted. I'm starting to think this is a really bad idea. He doesn't seem like his father at all. Oh, I didn't mean to imply that I would be buying her, just that I want to foster a strong relationship, and I thought the money might help go towards extra training to replace her, he explains. Well, regardless, if one of my warriors decides to become your mate, no money will exchange hands, I add. Of course, whatever you'd like. He agrees. So the advanced training class is at 10 AM tomorrow and the women's class is at 9 AM. If you want to come for both or just the advanced class, that's Daddy. I'm interrupted by Molly coming into my office. She's in her little swimsuit, and she looks so happy to see me. Hi, Bunny. I smile and open my arms as she runs over to give me a hug. I didn't know you had children. Derek asks, and I nod. He's smiling at her, which I don't think anything of until I notice his eyes. His eyes are naturally very light blue, but they aren't so clear and light all of a sudden. They're dark. No, it can't be. Can it? I almost can't believe my eyes, and I do a doubt take. They are swirling with black? Is he getting? For Molly. What? I want to kill him. Lexi. Get Molly out of the house, now, I mind link her. She comes rushing in, looking panicked. I hand her Molly and mind link her again. Move fast. As soon as I hear the back door close, I turn back and look at Derek, and a roar rips through my chest. What? Your eyes. I snap, and his mouth opens but nothing comes out. Were you aroused by a child? By my child? I roar, and his face looks pales. No. And no. I was looking at your wife. She's hot. I'm so sorry. He stutters out. Your eyes were black before she even came in here, I snarl, gritting my teeth. She was. I don't let him finish his fumbling excuse before I feel my clothes ripping, and my wolf takes over. The decision as to how to handle this isn't a conscious one. I've lost all control. I'm seeing red, and I want blood. How dare he? He swiftly shifts into his wolf form, and I lunge at him. The rage is all-consuming. He dodges me, and I crash into one of my bookshelves, and it breaks. I'm up immediately, and I start stalking towards him. He continues to back up, but I'm bigger and so are my strides. I lunged towards him again. He tried to get out of the way, but he wasn't fast enough. I have the side of his neck in my teeth and I rip the flesh from him. He's whimpering, and it doesn't ease my anger. Not one bit. I'm so consumed by rage that not only do I want to kill him, I want him torn to shreds. How could he? Instead of snapping his neck with one quick bite, I move to his hind paw. I grab it between my teeth and I rip it off and he howls in pain. His cries do nothing to quench my lust for his blood. As I'm going for another paw, I hear Zack. Alpha, stop, he yells. My head tilts in his direction, and I let out a low growl of warning. He heeds it as he raises his hands in surrender and takes a step back. I continue shredding him piece by piece. Even after the cries stop, I continue. It's like I can't even see straight. When I'm done, I feel some of the rage start to dissipate. Not all of it. I'm still livid, but some logical thoughts are starting to come back. The haze has cleared. I take a look around my office and it's trashed and there is blood everywhere, even on the ceilings. I should have dragged him into the bush. I can't let the girls see this. I start to shift back, and my naked body is covered in blood. I take a seat in my chair, trying to rearrange my thoughts and catch my breath. What happened? Zack breaks the silence quietly. He was a predator. He was attracted to children. His eyes were black with lust for Molly. I start talking but soon I'm yelling. Zack's eyes are wide with shock. Well, what are we going to do? He's an alpha's son, and there are ways of handling this through our courts. His father isn't going to like this, and we don't have a body to send back, he says, and very gently. He knows better than to set me off right now. I'm going to have to call him and tell him the truth, I shrug. He nods. Maybe I should go and talk to Lexi? She was freaking out when she mind-linked me to come over, Zack explains. Backyard, don't let her come in here. I mean it, Zack. I warn. He makes his way out there and within 30 seconds, Lexi is rushing to me. Good work, Zack. Chapter 35. Lexi's point of view. I don't feel Jack's anger as strong as I did before. Is he hurt? Zack opens the back door and I feel so relieved to see him. What's going on? I ask frantically. Jack's fine. Don't worry, he says, and I move towards the door. No. Don't go in there, he states. I stop, and turn back with a look of warning. Lexi, I'm serious. He doesn't want you in there, right now, he adds firmly. Watch Molly. I growl. His hands lift in frustration but he nods. I rush to Jack's office, and I can't believe what I'm seeing. There is blood everywhere. Not just blood though, limbs and flesh are scattered. Furniture is broken, and Jack is sitting naked in his chair covered in blood. What happened? I gasp as I rush to him. He shakes his head. I didn't want you to see this, he grumbles, and I can tell he's frustrated. I don't care. What happened? What's going on? I insist, and then grab his face to maintain eye contact. Talk to me, I whisper. He was aroused by Molly, he admits, disgust all over his face, and I feel my blood start to boil. What? I growl. Yet, his eyes were black, just at the sight of her in her bathing suit, he confesses. If I would have known, I would have killed him myself. I climb onto his lap. I don't even care that he's full of blood, and I wrap my arms around him and hold him close. His touch is helping my emotions, and I hope I'm helping with his. I feel his arms tighten around me. I love you, and Molly so much, he whispers. I know you do, and we love you, I whisper back. His guys are still here? What are you going to do? I ask. He shrugs, tell the truth. I sit in his arms for a minute thinking of what we could possibly say. What can I do? I ask. He gives me a small smile. Nothing, babe. You should pack a bag, and take Molly to the pack house, and stay in one of the suites. I'll be there when I can. I don't want Molly to see this. I didn't want you to see this either, but Zack doesn't listen, he growls, and he sounds frustrated with Zack. He tried to stop me from coming in but I wouldn't listen. He would have had to physically restrain me, and in front of Molly. Would you have wanted that? I ask, and he shakes his head and softens. So don't give him a hard time, I warn, with a knowing look, and he nods. Let's go upstairs. You shower, so you don't look so murderous, and I'm going to get some clothes for us to take to the pack house. We go upstairs, and when he gets in the shower, I take off my bathing suit cover that is now covered in blood. I wash my arms in the sink because they also have blood all over them. I get dressed and pack all three of us some clothes. I'm not sure if I have blood on me still, but I'll shower when I get to the suite. I open the glass door to the shower. Babe, I'm going to get Molly now and go to the pack house. I love you so much. I love you too, he adds, and he moves in to give me a kiss. I pull him in with a hand on his face and give him a good one. Thank you for protecting her, I say while holding his gaze. He needs to know I have his back, and I'm grateful. Always. When I get downstairs, I see Molly jumping on her trampoline, and Zach is sitting watching her. I left all kinds of food out because I was in the middle of making lunch. I place everything back in the fridge. I don't feel like eating now. I wrap up Molly's lunch to go and wrap up the rest of the sandwiches I had made and put them in the fridge. Thanks for watching her. Jack should be finishing up his shower soon. Are you hungry? I have some sandwiches made. I'm starving, he groans. No surprise there, Zach's always starving. They're wrapped in the fridge. You can help yourself. I'm taking Molly to the pack house. If you guys need me, or if you think Jack would benefit from having me here, please let me know. I'll get his parents or Beska to watch, Molly. I will, and thanks for the sandwiches, he remarks. Jack's point of view. I come downstairs and call out for Zach, and find him in the kitchen eating sandwiches. Lexi makes the best sandwiches, dude. What sauce does she use? He asks. Is he seriously asking me about sandwiches right now? I raise a brow, and he realizes it's not the time for this. He clears his throat. So what's the plan? I'm going to call his father and explain. We'll see how it goes from there, I shrug. I want you to call a cleaning crew and tell them to get a tote or something. I want all of the pieces gathered. We'll cremate him and send the ashes back. Hopefully, that will mean something. I have a feeling it won't make a difference, but his parents should still have it, I explain. Then I go into my office and grab my phone off the floor, and wipe off the blood so I can make this call. Ring ring. Tim Johnson, hello, Alpha Lavard. Me, Alpha Johnson, hello. Tim, I thought I wasn't supposed to talk to you until next week to discuss business. My firm has also been helping them with the accounting work for his PAC-Me, that's correct. I'm calling for another reason, actually. Tim, oh, what is it? Me, well, earlier today, Derek reached out to me, and wanted to come to speak to me about the possibility of making a match with one of my warriors. I'm not sure if you were aware of that? Tim, I wasn't aware. Is everything okay? Me, no, unfortunately it's not. While he was here, my daughter happened to come into my office. She had just come from our pool, and she was in her swimsuit. Tim, you have a daughter? Me, yes. I recently found my mate. We were married, and she is now my Luna. I have adopted her child as my own. Tim, congratulations. Me, thank you. As I was saying, my daughter, who isn't even 2 yet, came into my office in her swimsuit. Tim, okay. Me, and Derek. His eyes were black with desire for her. Tim, what? No. Me, it's true. Tim, I want to talk to him. Let me talk to him. Where is he? Me, I'm sorry. I hope you can understand the rage that came over me when I saw him looking at my innocent little daughter like that. Tim, you didn't? No, me, I did. I say somberly. I don't want a war, and I understand as a parent he'll be upset. I'm not sorry I killed him, but I'm not going to boast about it to his father, whom I've respected and got along with. Tim, he's dead? Me, he is. Try and put yourself in my position. What would you have done? Tim, and I'm just supposed to take your word for this? Are there any other witnesses? He's starting to yell. Me, there were no other witnesses. Tim, he deserved a trial. You had no right. He was an alpha. An equal. And with no proof? How do you think other packs will react when they hear this? You'll pay for this. He slams his phone down. Zach's staring at me. Well. Not good, I huff. War. I shrug, I really don't know. His pack has about 300 people in it. He'll have to do major recruiting if he wants to take us on, I point out. Let's go see Kyle and Derek's guys. When we get to the rec hall, Kyle is laughing and talking with two men. Alpha Lavard, nice to meet you, one of them says, and I nod. Where's Derek? He asks. I'll be straight with you. I killed him. He was lusting after my small child, and I killed him, I say without remorse, and they are both just staring at me. What? Are you serious? Kyle asks. Unfortunately. I have called Alpha Tim Johnson, and he is aware of what has happened. You both should get back home, I tell them. They don't say a word and they walk out. I motion for Zach and Kyle to follow them out and make sure they get off of my pack lands without causing trouble. As I'm standing there, I start to think about the way his Beta and Gamma acted when I told them the news. They didn't act at all surprised, and they didn't defend him. Did they know? Were they like him? One thing I know for sure is that it's a good thing he won't be in a position of authority over people. I can only imagine the ways he could have abused that power and hurt innocent children in the process. I'm feeling sick about it, and right now I just want to see Molly. Logically, I know she's okay, but I just want to see her and feel that she's okay. Meet me in a half hour at my place, I mind link Zach and Kyle. Where are you guys? I mind link, Lexi. Suite number 7. I run up to see my girls. I scoop Molly up and just hold her. I know it's close to nap time, so I rock her in my arms until she's fast asleep. Then I sit down on the couch and just hold her until I need to make it back to meet Kyle and Zach. You okay, babe? Lexi asks. I feel better now. I guess just witnessing someone having vile thoughts about her. I logically knew she was okay because he didn't lay a finger on her, but I just wanted to hold her and feel that she felt safe and that she wasn't affected by his disgusting thoughts, I admit. You're a good man, and an even better father. She's okay. She's okay because of you, and so are other children, she says, as she cuddles up beside us on the couch. I thought Lexi might feel, maybe scared or disgusted with me for the gory scene in the office, but she really doesn't seem fazed by it. Thankfully, because I don't want her to be afraid of me, or for anything to change between us. Chapter 36. I spent the last few hours with Zach and Kyle, going over security, possible counterattacks, and discussing when to inform the pack. I have called an emergency meeting for tomorrow morning. Regardless of how this pans out, I don't want my pack hearing from someone else what had happened. When I get back to the pack house, to the suite we're staying in, Lexi and Molly are sitting in bed eating pizza and watching a kids' movie. I join them, and when we're all done eating, we cuddle up in bed until Molly falls asleep. Lexi moves her to the other bedroom in this suite, and then we lay in bed, and I tell Lexi about everything going on. Once she hears about a possible war, she seems pretty concerned. Do you regret it? She frowns. Nope. I admit, while popping the pea. Not at all. The world is a better place without him in it. I don't even want to think about the damage he could have done or the harm he may have already done to other children. His pack might attack me, but they should be thanking me, I explain. She nods in agreement. Absolutely. I don't care what anyone says, I think you're a hero, and I am proud of you, she says with conviction. My woman can be so tender, loving and gentle, but then she can hoop like a boss and is strong and hard when it comes to doing what needs to be done. You're perfect, I smile. She pops an eyebrow. That was so random. She chuckles. It wasn't random, I was just thinking about how you're tough and hard in the ways that I like, and then also soft and tender in ways that I like. I just think you're perfect. She gets on top of me, so she's straddling me. I love how you're soft and tender with Mole and I, she hums on my lips, as she bends down to kiss me. And I love that you're strong and protective, she adds as she kisses me again. And I love that you're also hard in ways I want you to be too, she adds with a mischievous smile, as she starts grinding into me. You're so bad, I chuckle. You just risked so much to protect our child. Did you expect me not to jump you the second I had the opportunity? I honestly didn't. A lot of women don't find murder. You were protecting our child, and lots of other children too. Seeing that you love her so much and that you would go to such depths to protect her. Our family. It only makes me love you more if that's even possible. It definitely makes me want to climb on top of you and ride yo ring. I groan at the interruption. I'm going to get it so it doesn't wake Molly, she says as she jumps up to answer. She looks at the caller ID. Lexi, hey Grace, it's not a good time. Can I call you tomorrow? Pause Lexi, okay, what is it? Pause Lexi presses the speakerphone button. Lexi, okay, Grace, Jet, we're both here, what is it? Jet, I got a call from Alpha Tim Johnson, saying that Jack killed his son today? Jack? I huff I did. Jet, what happened? Jack, we had a meeting, and he saw Molly in her bathing suit, and his eyes were black with lust. Jet, Molly or Lexi? He must think I made a mistake. Jack, Molly. Jet, are you sure it was for Molly and not Lexi? Jack, Molly ran into my office without Lex. He's a pedophile. Or was. I killed him. Jet, he called me asking me to join his army. He's telling a different story, of course. Does he know what happened? Jack, yeah, I called him and told him about it right after. What is he saying? Jet, that you attacked his son and killed him over a small disagreement. That no one can feel safe with a tyrant like you on the loose. Jack, wow. Definitely a lie. Grace, I'm proud of you, Jack. Lexi, I know. Me too. Jack, thanks. Let's hope my pack feels the same way as you both do when I tell them tomorrow. So what did he say about attacking? Did he give a day or a plan? Jet, he didn't. He said he's going to recruit, and when he has enough, he'll attack. Jack, he's probably trying pretty hard to get you. Your pack has what? 1,000 people? How many can fight? And what did you tell him? Jet, 600 to 650 could fight. I told him I wasn't interested, obviously. Jack, would you be willing to change your stance on that? Jet, on helping Red River? Jack, yeah. If you told him you were helping them, they would stop recruiting a lot sooner than if you said no, and you'd have the details of what they were planning, and when. Jet, what do I say? Why did I change my mind all of a sudden? Jack, say I led your sister on, or any other lie you can think of. I don't care. Jet, that could work. That's a good idea. I'll call him back and keep you posted. Jack, thank you. Lexi, yeah guys, thank you. Well, that could be really helpful and valuable, I muse. Absolutely. Now, where were we? She asks as her tongue wets her lips. Something about writing me. Thank you all for joining me this morning. I'm sure you all suspect this is serious because I have never called an emergency meeting. I start. Lexi is by my side, and Molly is in daycare. I tell my pack the details of what happened yesterday, trying to stay as calm as possible, but given the topic, that's impossible. I hear a few proud cheers when they hear I killed him, but I'm not sure if that's the overall consensus. For the most part, a lot of people are quiet. I'm not sure how to read them. Then I tell them about Jet's phone call last night. Does anyone have any questions? No one asks anything, and there's a moment of silence before Lexi starts talking. I'm not sure how you all feel about this. I know, for one, am extremely proud of our alpha. I keep thinking of the ways this man could have abused his power, and gotten away with abusing children for years and years if he became alpha. For all we know, there may already be victims. Molly isn't even 2, I can't even wrap my head around that. I do know that evil has to be stopped. Regardless of what pack a child is in, a child is a child, and we owe it to all children to protect them from evil, she says, and I see everyone nodding in agreement. If they were on the fence about how they were feeling before, Lex pushed them over the edge into my favor. Having a supportive Luna by my side really is great. If there's no question, let's get to training. We need to be sharp. We're starting with a men's and women's class. We both use half the gym. I love watching Lexi train the other women. My guys are paired up sparring right now, and I see all the women are in a circle, and I want to see what's going on inside that circle. I hear Lexi talking, she's teaching them something. I move into the circle, and she has Star and Laurel doing a move that's impossible to recover from. There's no way to get out of this, Star says, and Lex agrees. You're right, but you shouldn't have let her get you here in the first place. You need to be watching her body and anticipating what she's going to do next. Run it again, she orders, and they start again. Okay, now pause for a second. Star, from here, there are 3 possible things she's going to do with you in this position. 2 of which would result in you getting really hurt if you grabbed her leg and completely twisted your body, and Star agrees. Instead of guessing, or trying to watch her whole body to decide what she's going to do, watch that left foot. If you see it point in, that's your sign. If you see that, you grab and twist your body as fast as you can. Run it again. They do it again, and Star manages to get out. Good. I want you to be faster though. I want all of you to pair up. Take turns, and I want you to run all 3 moves, so you each don't know what's coming. I want you to be fast. The faster you are, the better your counterattack is going to be, she says with authority. You can beat people physically stronger than you by anticipating their next move, she adds. I can't help but smile at my mate. My warriors are in good hands with Lexi. I'm watching as the women start putting their new lessons into practice. Shouldn't you be training your warriors, Alpha? She raises her eyebrows with a smirk and walks over. I just wanted to see what was going on, I smile. She gives me a quick kiss. Get to work, she chuckles. Run that move with me? I want to see if your little trick works with me. I'm curious if I'm fast enough and strong enough to ruin her trick. Okay, but mix it up, so I don't know what to expect, she smiles. Everyone ends up abandoning their training to watch us, but I can't blame them. We ran through all 3 moves twice, and she was able to get out of the wrestling move for all of them. She's really quick. Everyone is really proud of her right now, especially me. Next is the advanced class for men and women. The class consists of about 30 people. A lot smaller than the last class, which had about 500 people between the men and women. This has been my favorite class since Lexi got here. I love working closely with her. She works really hard, and never slacks off. There's never any ego from her, and she's hungry to learn. I love that about her. She's like a sponge too, she soaks up everything I throw at her. She has learned even more since she got here, and she is always impressing me. She thought beating Laurel was a fluke, but it wasn't. She's faster, and she has better instincts. I love that she's so strong and such a good fighter, but I hate the idea of her actually having to use it. For this battle, she isn't fighting. She doesn't know it yet, but there's no way I'll allow it. She might be angry, but I don't care. If something happened to her, I would die. I can't live without her. Chapter 37. Jack's point of view. It's been a long day, and the last few weeks have been a little stressful being in limbo. Knowing war is probably coming, but not knowing when or how many people we'll be fighting against. I'm hoping Tim changes his mind. I've tried to reach out, but he isn't interested in speaking to me. A lot of people have approached me and suggested we attack them. Their pack alone only has 300 people, but I'm hoping we can avoid a fight altogether. Most of his pack are innocent people. If we attack him after killing his son, it only furthers the lie he's spreading about me. He wants people to fear me. Like I'm going to kill and attack anyone, for no reason. I understand that Derek was his son, and he loves him regardless of how terrible he was, but how can he honestly fault me? How many men could see what I saw and not murder the bastard, let alone an alpha? I have been calling some packs and tried to explain my side. There was a great deal of alphas who wouldn't even take my call. Some of them acted as if they hadn't heard anything about it. I have gotten through to a few though, and they not only said they wouldn't fight with Alpha Johnson, but they would fight alongside me if need be. I'm also starting to wonder if he knew who his son was, too. Why did he have to find a mate before becoming Alpha? Were they hoping it would make him better? Or maybe Aluna would be able to monitor him. Either way, he didn't find his mate because he was mateless. There is no she-wolf out there for him. He wasn't destined to be with anyone. When I open my front door, I'm hit with the smell of something delicious cooking. I enter the kitchen and see my girls are busy at the counter. Daddy! Molly squeals and I grab her, giving her a hug and then give Lexi a kiss. What are you working on? I ask Molly. Dessert, cool. What is this, babe? I ask Lexi. It's brownie cherry cheesecake for dessert, she answers. I groan at just the thought of how delicious that is going to be. What's cooking? It smells so good. Homemade dinner rolls, chili, and I'm going to make a salad too. I invited your parents over, they should be here in about a half hour. She seems to really get along with my parents. They're over for dinner a few times a week and Lexi and Molly go over to visit in the afternoon sometimes when I'm working. The girls seem to have brought out a softness in my mother that I've never seen before. Dinner was delicious, and now my parents and Lex and I are just having a drink and chatting when my phone starts ringing. It's Jet, I should take it, I tell everyone. Me, hey Jet, hey man, I got some news for you. Me, shoot. Jet, 2 days. They'll attack in 2 days, at dawn. They're hoping to overrun your warriors keeping guard, and then by the time the rest of your warriors wake up and make it out, they have you even more outnumbered. They have 2,000 with my 600 warriors. So they actually have 1,400 warriors. I'll be there with them, but as soon as the fight starts, we'll be fighting alongside you. Me, are you sure? I wasn't expecting you to actually fight with us. Jet, definitely. Lex is like a sister to Grace and I, and Molly literally calls us auntie and uncle. And I'm not making anyone go who doesn't want to. Me, well I appreciate it. I have a few packs I poached from him too. He doesn't know, but there are another 350 he thinks are his, but they are actually with me now. Jet, that awesome. You have 800, you mentioned before that could fight. Plus my 600 and your 350. 1,750 for us against 1,050. Those are some nice odds. There's also one more thing. Me, what? Jet, he sent me a picture of Lexi, and he sent it to everyone who's fighting with him. He said there would be a $25,000 reward for anyone who kills her. Me, what? How did he get that? Jet, I have no idea. The picture is a year or so old though. She has Molly in her arms and Molly is around 6 months in the picture. Me, well, I'm glad I know. Lexi won't be anywhere near the battle. Thanks for the information. We'll talk tomorrow and we'll get all the details locked down. Jet, sounds good. As soon as I hang up, Lexi is looking at me disapprovingly, with one eyebrow raised. What? I ask. I won't be anywhere near the battle. She asks, and I didn't miss the bite in her tone. No, you won't, I state. Yes, I will Jack. She says trying to stay calm, but I can see the fire in her eyes. Why don't we talk about this after, I offer because I don't want to get into this in front of my parents. She reluctantly nods her head, and I'm grateful. Does he know when? She adds. 2 days. My parents stayed for another half hour, and the second the door closes, Lexi starts in on me, letting me know that she will be fighting. Who will watch Molly? I ask. I'll leave her with the women who don't fight and watch the children, just like all the women warriors do, she rebuts, with a glare. You're also the Luna though, and? Why did you even want a strong warrior Luna if you didn't want her to actually fight? She asks, and it's a logical question. It is, but I can't help how I feel. The concept seemed a lot better when I didn't know how much I would love you. I don't want you to get hurt. The thought of you getting hurt or worse. Lex. I can't live without you, I explain. I understand the fear because I have the same fear when it comes to you. I get it 100%. But guess what? My feelings don't trump the fact that you have a duty to this pack. Just like I do. Not to mention, I'm new to this pack, and this whole war has started because of a child I brought here. I train with these warriors. Don't you think it's hypocritical for me to sit this out? She asks. No, I don't. Lex, you can't go. I reaffirm. Logic be damned, the answer is no. Yes, I can, and I will, she demands firmly. I groan. Why can't she just listen to me about this? I'm a part of this pack, and we fight together. The other women warriors are going to be fighting, regardless of how their mates feel, and regardless of the fact that they have children, she adds. I close my eyes and rub my temples. This is giving me a headache. Her points are valid, but she's not fighting. I open my eyes and she's staring at me with her eyebrows raised, waiting for a rebuttal. Why is she so stubborn? Name it. I'll do anything if you agree to this, I basically beg. I see the hardness in her eyes soften, and she moves into me, wrapping her arms around my waist to hug me. Babe, just like you can't sit this one out, neither can I, she says softly. I didn't want to tell her that there is a hit out for her, because I didn't want to scare her, but it seems I have no choice. There's a $25,000 reward for anyone that kills you, I admit, and her eyes widen. What? I didn't want to freak you out, and I was hoping I could avoid telling you, but you are not making it easy. Well, how do they even know what I look like? I could be any she-wolf. They have a picture of you that they are passing around. How did they get a picture of me? She gasps. I have no idea, but they have one. Well, if I show up in my wolf form, I cut her off. Are you serious? What? Yes, realistically, do they know what my wolf looks like? They don't know me, she tries to reassure me, but I just feel my patience wearing. You are going to be the death of me, woman, I groan. Let's talk about this tomorrow, I'm seriously getting a headache, I admit while rubbing my temples. Of course, but you're not getting away from this, she adds, and I groan. Now I'm starting to wish she couldn't fight. Warrior Lunas are a good idea in theory, and when you're not in love with them. I'll have to think of something. She not fighting in this battle, even if that means I literally have to lock her up. She'll be mad at me, but she'll be safe. Thank you for joining me this morning, everyone. I have gotten word that tomorrow at dawn, Alpha Johnson and his warriors will be attacking. I explain how many warriors we each have, and how many warriors he thinks he has. Everyone seems pleased. Lexi is standing beside me, and she's probably not going to like what I say next, but she'll survive it. He also has a reward in place, $25,000 to anyone who kills our Luna. Everyone is wide-eyed and you could hear a pin drop. They're shocked. The best way to hurt me is to hurt her. I'd like everyone's opinion because you're Luna and I disagree. She thinks she should be out there fighting, even though a photo of her has been circulating with a reward. I think risking her, especially when she is being targeted, is reckless, I say with authority. When our eyes meet, hers are icy cold. If looks could kill, I'd be dead. I want a show of hands, who think Luna should not be fighting tomorrow, I ask, and I don't waver in my tone. I want everyone to know where I stand on this. Hold on. They have no idea what I look like in my wolf form, and this all happened because of a child who is also mine. I should be fighting too, she rebuts. But they'll be able to figure it out pretty easily. They'd just look for a she-wolf close to Alpha. I'm sure his eyes will be glued to you constantly. It will be pretty obvious, Laurel points out. Well, I won't fight near Jack, then. Lexi is grasping at straws. Show of hands. Who thinks she should fight? I ask. I look around, and I don't see any hands. How can she argue with this? I'm so happy right now I can't even contain my smile. When I look at Lexi though, I'm suddenly scared to continue smiling, and I swiftly wipe it off my face. Thank you, everyone, I add. Well, maybe Luna can join the group of warriors who will guard the pack house, protecting the women, seniors, and children from anyone that gets past the front lines, Joss says. Joss is one of Lexi's best friends, so of course, she's looking for a way to please her. Lexi jumps at the opportunity, realizing her plans of fighting on the front lines are being squashed. I'll be away from Jack, and I'll be in my wolf form, so no one will recognize me. They wouldn't expect me to be guarding the pack house. Show of hands. Who thinks I could guard the pack house? She asks, and she's basically pleading with them. Now, it's split down the middle. Good enough for me, Lexi quickly says. Thank you all for your input, she adds. We're both walking away feeling disappointed, even though we both had a little bit of a win. I guess that's compromise. I'm not thrilled about her guarding the pack house, but we do have them outnumbered by a lot. I don't think we'll have many slipping past our front lines. I'm going to make sure I have some strong warriors with her just in case. Everyone is starting to get ready for the training class, and Lexi walks up to me. Not cool, she snaps as she glares at me. I agree. Not cool. Every single person in here agreed with me that it wasn't safe. You weren't hearing me. I had to do something. I reason, but she just rolls her eyes and walks away. I guess this is our first fight. During the week, we usually do our training, and then we get cleaned up, grab something to eat in the cafeteria, and Lex comes to help me for an hour in my office because she wants to be informed on all things pack related since she became Luna. She usually helps me with whatever I'm working on too, which I thoroughly enjoy. Today, for the first time, though, she's eager to leave. I can tell she's upset with me. I hate it, but it was worth it if it means she isn't fighting on the front lines with me. Chapter 38. Lexi's point of view. I just left Jack's office for my daily update, and I'm so frustrated with him. I deserve to fight with everyone, and I'm good at it. This is the first time we've had a fight and I hate it. I can't help that I crave him, and if I'm upset with him, I have to resist the urge to touch him, and be close with him. I pick up Molly and then head straight to Becca's house for a play date. Joss is coming too. Ever since Joss moved here, the three of us have spent a lot of time together. I love that Becca and Joss get along so well. Becca invited us over today because she has something she wanted to talk to us about. Hi, Lexi, Becca greets, as she opens her door. Hey. Hi, Molly. Toby is in the living room if you want to play with him, Becca tells Molly, and Molly makes her way to the living room. Joss is already in the kitchen. Come in, wants some coffee or tea or coffee, please? I could use the boost. I'm exhausted. I admit with a yawn. You've been tired a lot lately, she notices. I know, it's all this stress. It has really taken it out of me. Hey, Lexi. Joss says as we come into the kitchen. Hey, Joss. Becca hands me a cup of coffee, and I doctor it up with milk and sugar. So I called you both over because as I stated, I have news, Becca smiles. Okay, Joss says hesitantly. What is it? I ask. She smiles and holds us in suspense for a few more seconds. I'm pregnant. She says excitedly. What? Really? I gasp, and she nods excitedly. Congratulations! Joss and I both say in unison and get up to give her a hug. I'm so happy for you, I add. After talking about Becca's pregnancy for a few minutes, Joss starts, I wasn't going to say anything, but since we're spilling secrets. I'm pregnant too. Joss admits, with a giggle. My jaw is dropped, and my eyes are wide. What? That was fast? When did you find out? I ask. We just found out yesterday. We were going to keep it a secret for a little. I haven't seen the doctor yet, so I guess it's possible it was a false positive? I didn't want to get my hopes up. I don't think false positives happen very often, maybe false negatives? I'm so happy for you both, I beam. I'm so excited that I have a friend to be pregnant with. I'm 6 weeks, you must not be very far, you only found your mate 2 weeks ago, Beska states. Yeah, I think we conceived that night, on your wedding night, so only 2 weeks, Joss chuckles. Werewolf pregnancy is only 6 months, so it won't be that long before our playdates, double in size. 2 kids to 4. I wish I was pregnant too. It's so cool that you ladies get to do this together. Are you sure you're not? I wanted to mention to you that when I was pregnant with Toby, I was tired all the time. You've been tired for weeks, I think even before this whole thing started, she states. No, I have this app. It tracks my ovulation, I explain. But I start to realize I haven't had a period since I've been with Jack. Wait. What? I checked it once, and I knew I wouldn't need to look at it until after my next period, but now that I think of it, my next period never came. My face must be showing confusion, because Joss asks me, what's going on? I haven't had a period since I've been with Jack. How did I not notice? I ask, in shock. The girls are looking at me with shock. Hold on, I have extra pregnancy tests, take one, Beska says, and jumps up to grab it. I sit in the chair and it's as if my limbs weigh 1,000 pounds. Are you okay? Joss asks. I don't get it. When? How? I had this app, I question. How? Really? She chuckles. I wasn't unsafe during my fertile days, I explain. Well, did you take into consideration the way getting marked affects your hormones? She asks. What do you mean? Well, your body will force an ovulation, regardless of where you are in your cycle when you get marked, she explains. What? I ask in shock. Yeah, did you not know that? No. I raise my voice. I've never heard that before. Beska walks in and hands me the test. Did you use protection when he marked you? Joss asks. No, well then you're probably pregnant, she chuckles. Did you know about this? Your body will force ovulation when you get marked. I ask Beska and she shakes her head. I've never heard of that, Beska admits. I only looked into my cycle after we were together for a few months, and I was long marked by then. Looks like you might get your wish, you might be pregnant with all of us, Beska states. Still, in disbelief, I grab the test and rush to the washroom. I'm sitting alone and waiting for the 5-minute timer on my phone to go off, and I hear a knock on the door. You okay in there? Beska asks. I open the door. Just waiting. Want some company? I nod and smile. Soon Joss is joining us as well. How are you feeling? Joss asks. Stupid. How did I not know that? I ask. Hey, I've never heard it either, Beska admits. Which I'm really grateful about because it actually makes me feel a little better. I feel like I want to pull the pack and find out how many she-wolves know this, I say in disbelief, and Beska chuckles. I really want to have a baby with Jack, and Molly has adjusted really well. I'm going to check, Joss says. I still have another minute and a half, I say, looking at my phone. She picks it up and looks at me while making an O with her lips. You don't need another minute and a half. It's positive, she says while smiling and giggling. I grab it and look at it. This is for real. This is real life, I say in shock. Congratulations. They both say with excitement. I find myself laughing, probably in shock. I can't believe this, I admit. Wait, so he marked me like 6 weeks ago, so, I pause. Wow. I lift my shirt and look in the mirror. It looks like it could be a little bigger. Maybe? Or maybe it's just in my head. At 6 weeks, the baby might not survive if you shifted. I'm really glad you figured this out before tomorrow, Beska says, with concern. I haven't shifted in a week and a half, I admit. I feel anxious at just the thought of what would have happened if I had not found out today, and shifted tomorrow. How are you going to tell Jack? Joss asks. I don't know. I feel like I should tell him in a really special way, but with the battle tomorrow. I can't fight, so I need to tell him today. He'll wonder why I put up such a fuss about fighting, and then suddenly change my mind. What should I do? I ask. Maybe you can go out to dinner? Or we can go shopping, and you can wrap up a baby outfit or something. Joss suggests. It seems tasteless to go out for dinner when our pack is planning on fighting tomorrow morning. I decide I'm just going to wrap up the pregnancy test and head over to his office, while Beska watches Molly. I am chomping at the bit to tell him too. I don't think I would be able to hold off very long even if the circumstances were different. I was a little bit off with him earlier too, for involving the whole pack about me fighting. Now I just want to make up, and be happy together. When I get to his office, I leave the gift bag in the hallway. I give a quick knock and poke my head in. I'm surprised to see Zach, Kyle, Alex, and a few other warriors. Jack furrows his brows, surprised to see me, but motions me in. Is everything okay? He asks and I nod. I didn't know you were in a meeting, call me when you guys are finished up, and I'll come back. You guys are dismissed, we'll talk after, Jack says. I can come back, finish your meeting, I insist, but Jack just shakes his head and motions for them to get out. Sorry guys, I say, and they all smile. It's no problem, Luna. I hear Zach say. As soon as the door is closed, Jack is asking what's going on. I can tell he's trying to read me. He's not sure if I've come to argue with him, or make up. I move to sit in one of the chairs on the other side of his desk, facing him, trying not to give away what's going on in my head. I wanted to talk. I was thinking a lot about what you said, I say calmly and without a smile. Okay. He asks. He has one eyebrow raised, and he has no idea what I'm going to say. You were right, I admit. I was. He asks hesitantly and I nod. About you not fighting. He verifies. It's the only thing we've disagreed on, but he doesn't believe I could be talking about that. I nod again, trying to hold back my excitement still. I'm not going to fight tomorrow, I admit. He starts to smile but stops himself. Is this a trick? He asks and narrows his eyes and I shake my head. So you're not mad at me anymore? He asks with a small smile. I pretend to be thinking about it. Then I smile and shake my head. No, I'm not mad. I actually wanted to give you something, I start, and get up to grab the bag in the hallway. I can't even pretend to not be giddy at this point. This time, I sit on his desk, right in front of him with my legs touching his, and I hand him the gift bag. Open it. I beam. He looks so confused but starts. He opens the gift bag and finds a wrapped box. He looks at me again and I start to giggle. Open it, I tell him again. He leans back in his chair and starts opening it. When the paper is off, he's about to open the box. Wait, I say. He stops and looks at me. I'm smiling so hard my cheeks are hurting. I just want to tell you I love you first, I add. He smiles and lifts his body to kiss me. I love you too, and I'm glad you're not mad at me anymore. Do I open this now? He asks. I smile and nod. He gives me one of those megawatt smiles that I love so much and then looks down to open it. He takes the lid off. His head tilts to the side as he picks it up, and reads pregnant on the screen. He looks at me wide-eyed. Did you take this? Are you pregnant? He asks. I start chuckling and nodding. I'm pregnant. I squeal. His face was priceless. Nothing but joy. He jumped up and grabbed me along with him. He was laughing and full of excitement. When he finally puts me down, he puts a hand on my stomach. Our baby is growing in there, he says as if he's amazed. Our baby is growing in there, and I think it's been growing in there since you marked me, I admit. How? Your app. Apparently marking a she-wolf affects hormones enough to change her cycle. I didn't even make the connection that I hadn't had a period since we've been together, either. Moon goddess way of keeping the population growing, I guess. I didn't know this, and apparently, it's not common knowledge, because Beska didn't know either, I explain. I'm so happy, I can't believe it. Hey, wait, so that was a while ago. You can't shift, he realizes. I know. That's why I can't fight tomorrow. I don't want our little one getting hurt, I smile and rub my stomach and Jack is beaming. I just need to get you pregnant every time there's a battle. Not funny, I say while playfully rolling my eyes. Chapter 39. Jack's point of view. Lexi has a baby growing inside of her? That we made together. I can't believe it. I couldn't be happier. It's sooner than Lexi wanted because of Molly, but Molly is doing great, and she's adjusted so well. By the time the baby gets here, her old life without me will be a distant memory. I'm pulled out of my thoughts, when I hear the nurse say, Alpha, and Luna, the doctor will see you now. I wrap my arm around Lexi's waist as we walk into the exam room. Alpha, Luna, what can I do for you? Dr. Laura Merck asks. I just realized I was pregnant. I have been having symptoms for weeks but I haven't made the connection until today. The pregnancy test said pregnant very quickly, too, Lexi explains. She never mentioned this to me earlier. What symptoms? I ask. I'm always exhausted. I guess you got pregnant so early, I didn't notice that this wasn't your normal self. I just thought you needed more sleep than the rest of us, I tease. I'm not usually like that, I chalked it up to stress, but I'm starting to think maybe not, she admit. Fatigue is a completely normal sign of pregnancy. Your body is creating another person. And in this case, an alpha pup. Your body is hard at work, the doctor explains. Lexi and I smile at each other. She asks Lexi a bunch of other questions and then does an ultrasound. We told her the day we think we conceived, and she said that it lined up perfectly. We did conceive when I marked her. Lexi is 6 weeks. Werewolf pregnancy is only 27 weeks. Beska is 6 weeks too, will be due the same week, Lexi says excitedly. When Dr. Merck turns the monitors so we can see, it's incredible. I'll let you listen to baby's heartbeat, she adds. When we hear the little thudding of our baby's heart, I can't even help it, I'm getting choked up. I look at Lexi, staring at the monitor, and tears stream down her face. My thumb gently wipes them, and when she looks at me smiling, I feel my chest tighten. I love her so much. I lean down and my lips find hers. I leave a chaste kiss on her lips. Thank you, I whisper. I feel so grateful for this beautiful gift she is giving me. Thank you. She whispers back. I'll give you 2 minutes, and I'll get some of these printed for you both. I wipe the gel off of Lexi's stomach, and when she's all cleaned up, I place a kiss on her stomach and help her up. I just hold her in my arms, until the doctor comes in with our pictures. Did you want me to do the NIPT test? It's a blood test, and you'd get the results back in a week or so, and it would tell you the gender, she asks. Lexi and I look at each other. I'd like to know, would you? Lexi asks. I think so. I'd like to be prepared, I admit. She goes ahead and does the test, and then we leave. I feel on top of the world. I have meetings that need to happen because of the battle in the morning, but I don't want to leave Lexi right now. Do you have a lot of work to do? She asks. I do, I frown. Can you do it at home? She asks, with pleading eyes. Yes. I agree quickly. I wouldn't have asked after what happened last time I worked from home, but I'm glad she did. Lexi wanted to have my parents over for dinner, to tell them the news before we tell the rest of the pack tomorrow. She wanted to bake a cake that said Big Sister in Training, and have Molly present it to them. The house smells heavenly with chocolate cake and roast beef cooking, and everyone that comes over for a meeting is commenting how good it smells. Our house is definitely a home. When my parents come over, we eat dinner without slipping the news. Dinner was amazing and my parents were raving too. After I cleared the plates, Lex asks Molly, did we make a cake for dessert today for Gran and Gramps, Molly? Molly is proudly nodding. I and Mamas help you, she beams. Lexi brings over the cake and sets it in front of Molly. Let's lift the lid together, and we'll show Gran and Gramps what you made for them. My parents are looking at the cake stand expecting to see a cake and nothing else. The girls lift off the lid, and my parents read the cursive writing on the cake, and they're quiet for a second. You're pregnant, my mom asks Lexi. The dining room was filled with excitement, congratulations, and a few happy tears from my parents. They were over the moon when we showed them the ultrasound pictures. It's crazy how in 6 months, I'll go from a bachelor to married with 2 kids, but I'm not complaining one bit. I've never been happier. When my parents leave, we put Molly to bed and we get to bed early. Everyone needs to be up at 3 a.m. I want us to be in position hours before dawn, just in case. I want all the women that are not warriors, children, and seniors in the pack house, hours before as well. I'll have 150 warriors guarding the pack house as well in case anyone gets past the front lines. No one is getting to the most vulnerable in my pack. I feel so at ease knowing Lexi and Molly are both going to be safe in the pack house. While we lay in bed, waiting for sleep to overcome us, we snuggle close and talk. So what are you hoping for? A boy or a girl? Lexi asks. Oh, I don't know. Whatever we have, I'll be grateful for, I admit. You? I would of course be happy with both, but I think I want a boy, she smiles. Really? A boy would be so fun, but I see how sweet Molly is, so a girl would be fun too, I chuckle. Ideas for names? She asks. Not yet. I'd have to think about it. You? Same, Lexi answers. What about Enzo after your father, for a boy? I suggest. She smiles, almost sadly. You're the sweetest to even offer that, and she moves in and starts kissing me, but the intensity of this kiss grows quickly. She breaks apart for a second, to climb on top of me. I see her eyes are swirling. She kisses me again, and it's with urgency and desire. She moves to my neck and starts kissing. I can feel blood is starting to rush to my manhood. I feel myself breathing heavier, and the sparks that she's leaving on my skin with each kiss, have me wanting more. Much more. Come for me, baby, I growl. Jack, she moans, and then I see her come undone. I continue while I also find my end, and do the same. She lays on top of me, catching her breath while I trail my fingertips along her back. She's perfect, and she's all mine. Join our Facebook and WhatsApp group for more updates, link is given in description. Rest audiobook will be continued in next episode.